Well, here we are, Aqueduct Cottage. It's the 29th of August 2023, and for this update, just for a change, thought we'd do a little bit of filming so you can see what's going on at the moment at Aqueduct Cottage. Now, first of all, let me show you the privy. This is the next project, restoration, being assisted by local stonemason Mark Heaton, who has kindly offered to give his time to help rebuild this fantastic outbuilding. It was originally a pigsty and privy, and as you can see, it's lost a little bit of its structure, so Mark is in the process of rebuilding this rear wall, and that's the first stage. Now, I think you might just be able to make out, there you go, those holes in the wall on the other side are pockets for the timber joists that form the floor of the privy. And down below, I can show you, that down there was the pigsty, the pig pen below. So the idea is to get the stonework repaired and get a roof on it. We had plans to maybe use it as a composting toilet, but at the moment we've shelved that. We're going to use the building as a store. Now this section of the leeward arm, just the first few yards, we've been restoring. So we've taken out some dead trees and roots that were protruding out of the walls and rebuilt the walls. We're only going this far, and eventually we hope to put a lock gate in the stone recess up there. That's a future project. Looking the other way, coming up in the next week or two, these dead trees are going to be coming down, which will hopefully lighten up this next section of the leeward arm. We did have one fall a short time ago onto the towpath, so there's a bit of a safety feature there, so safety issue, so we want to get those taken down. But we look forward in the next few weeks and months to seeing the privy restoration make progress, and that will complete the building works on the site. Here's the garden and the steps, those stone walls and the steps built a couple of years ago by our volunteers. The gardens look really super this summer, just entering the autumn now, but we're absolutely over the moon with the way the plants have grown, and as we expected, they've been really busy with wildlife, bees and butterflies. It's been lovely to watch. Some people have commented on the amount of weed or reeds in the canal, and it certainly does seem to be worse this year than in previous years. The council usually come along and clean up the weeds, and it's sometime, I'm told, around sort of December time, January, over the winter anyway, when is the correct time to clear it out, and that I'm told will be happening in a few months' time. So the job that's nearing completion is the reconstruction of the lean-to pantry that Ian and Kay and others have been doing. The stonework is pretty much done now. The next step is to get the roof sorted. We're going to put slates on the roof once the rafters are on, so that is going to be hopefully watertight by winter, and then that gives us another store inside the cottage. We've got an internal door to fit in there as well. Over this side we've got our picnic bench, which has proven to be very popular, and we've made a couple of dead hedges for the moment, just as a barrier for the picnic area. We intend to make some hazel hurdles and put them in here in due course, but they'll do okay for now. One of the aims of the cottage was to make sure we got lighting for the internal displays and for the activity room, and the power source is this 400 watt solar panel, and that's connected through that cable that runs into the cottage. It will be rerouted in due course to a control panel and some leisure batteries that provides the lights inside the cottage. Well, it'll be interesting to see how much power we can get from this over the winter, but it's charging today and it's a grey day, so fingers crossed that we actually get decent power during the winter. Another area we're very excited about and still being worked on is, well, we call it the old smithy, but it was a blacksmith's workshop, and so I'm stood at the top of the garden looking down into it. A few weeks ago, as some will know, we uncovered the original stone floor. That was under about a metre of soil, because it was a flower garden for many years, but we've decided to excavate it and reveal the floor, and we're going to use this area as a log store. So we'll be putting in a frame very shortly to house the logs for our log burner. We're also going to stabilise these walls, so our volunteers have been taking away the loose stones, and as you see down at the bottom, starting to mortar in the stones and build their way up to the top, including this back wall here. We don't plan to put a roof on it at the moment. We'll put a cover onto the log store, and the idea is just to basically consolidate this area because there's an interesting little backstory to it. If you have a look on the Facebook page, I think in recent weeks it's I explained what that was about. But in brief, a resident that was here, a tenant, Mr. Robbins, built this as a workshop for himself, but it fell just outside his tenancy agreement, so he wasn't allowed to use it, and he ended up building one on the other side of the site. That must have been a blow. Okay, the thing we're really excited about coming up in the next few weeks is we're going to be using our wonderful activity room for a series of art and crafts events. We've got 7 artists lined up for an autumn programme that starts towards the end of September and goes through to the end of November. They'll be advertised on the Derbyshire Wildlife Trust website very shortly, and courses can be booked on Eventbrite. This starts the beginning of what we hope will be an ongoing programme of events through into the spring next year. We're already discussing with different artists programmes that we can have, and we're really looking forward to inviting people and coming, enjoying doing those things and having those have-a-go sessions at the cottage in the months ahead. So there we are, that's the end of this short update on Aqueduct Cottage. The cottage is open on Tuesdays, Saturdays and Sunday mornings between 10 and 1 PM. We've got our team of volunteer stewards who'll be happy to welcome you and show you around. Do come and have a look and say hello, and don't forget to see our replica cottage when you're there, sitting at the picnic bench. A wonderful little semi-detached bird box, kindly donated to the cottage by a member of the Friends of Aqueduct Cottage page during lockdown. And it's amazing how much attention that little bird box gets.